Okay, guys, so this is part 4 of how I'm making my tech costume from Star Wars The Bad Batch. Today I'm going to be covering how I made his backpack. I'm super happy of how it came out and all the details I was able to get into this piece. But now let's get right into the build process. Okay, guys, to start the backpack, we need to cut out a few of these pieces. So now I'm going to start gluing everything together for the main structure of the backpack. So let's go. Okay, guys, so I'm cutting up some pieces of cardboard to use as support to hold up the sides of the backpack. So I'm going to glue those into stacks of 3, glue them onto the outside, and then glue the main piece of the backpack on top of that. So we have to do that for both sides, and I use around 2 to 3 supports for each side of the backpack. And now you can't see, but I'm currently covering up some of the outside of the box. You will see it up close in a few minutes, and yes, I did get in the way. So it's just cutting pieces of cardboard, fitting them in, gluing them down. Okay, guys, so the base of the backpack's going really well. So what I have to do now, I just have to finish covering the top, and then start on the details, so let's go to another time lapse. Okay, guys, so right now I'm covering the sides of the box to make it a whole structure. So the 2 flat parts are pretty easy. Just take a piece of cardboard, lie it down, glue it down. And then I'm going to be taking a rectangle piece of cardboard, cutting slits into it for the curved part so it bends around the thing easier. So right now you see I'm cutting the slips. And then I'm going to be gluing it to the main body. Then I'm going to start working on the detail pieces, which is a big rectangle piece of cardboard. Then I'm going to add another smaller rectangle, and then add 2 long buttons, 2 short buttons. Then I'm going to be gluing that on the middle-ish of the box. And then I'm taking strips of cardboard, wrapping them around the seam we have as more detail pieces to make it look even better. Then, okay, guys, so I did this off camera, but I attached this piece, basically a little bit of hot glue there and there. Attached the square to the front, and then attached these 2 triangles, and it actually fits in really, really well. But now we're going to work on that box at the bottom. So this is the few pieces that I have. So this piece is going to be the bottom. This piece is going to sit like this. This is going to go on top, so I'm going to do that, then get back to you guys. Or no, we're going to go into a time lapse so I can do a little bit more. Let's go. Okay, guys, so this time lapse I slowed down a little to show you exactly what I'm doing. So these pieces, I had to take a lot of time to glue together just because this is one of the main pieces. So as you see, I'm gluing them all together in the way I talked about. The 3 pieces go together and make this little box shape. So now I'm gluing the top part on with a good amount of hot glue because this will be under the most stress and tension. So we're going to glue that down. Then I'm going to take some strips of cardboard, put them alongside of the raised part to try and cover the seam when I glue it down. As you see in a minute, I'll show you. But right now I'm seeing it, make sure it fits on the box and it's a good shape and how I like it. So then I cut a strip of cardboard that I'm going to glue on the outside of the box. So you have to do that for the 2 flat sides and the 1 curved side. So I'm going to do that, those 2 sides on camera, and then the curve off camera because it is a little hard to get. So this is probably one of the pieces you want to spend the most time on because it is very important. This is one of the main pieces you want to get right. So as you see, I'm gluing them together. Now I'm cutting to the faster time lapse where I'm doing all the details. Basically, I'm just adding a trim to the box to give it the look that it has in the show. And when the trim's done, I'm going to be gluing it onto the actual backpack. As you'll see in one moment, it's glued on, and then I'm adding a piece at the bottom to help fill it in. So right now I'm going to start working on the thermal detonator. So I have these strips of cardboard that I'm wrapping along the side of the box we just made. Then I'm taking a paper towel tube, wrapping thin pieces of cardboard on towards the edge, and then a big rectangle in the middle. As you saw, I made whatever this is. Don't know if it's some sort of piece of gear, but my guess, it is a thermal detonator. But what I'm going to do next is actually making the mounting plate so we can attach it to the backpack. So let's get to that time lapse. Okay guys, to make the mounting plate, you just want to take 2 strips of cardboard around the size of the thermal detonator, glue them into an L position, glue the thermal detonator onto that, then glue it onto the backpack. And that's it for the mounting plate. Okay guys, so the mounting plate's done, and I attached it to the backpack, and it is looking really good in my opinion. Sorry about the lighting. Let's move it a little more so you can get a better look at it. That's a little better. But if you can't tell, it looks really good. So let's move it to the side. So now what I have to do, replicate this, the thermal detonator, that's what I'm going to call it, and the mounting plate for the other side. So I'm going to do that off camera, so let's go. Okay, guys. So I added the other thermal detonator. Now what I have to do is add a little bit more detail to the backpack. So I'm going to do that, then get back to you guys. So let's go. Okay, guys, so what I did, I attached these 2 squares of cardboard, and I made one of the antennas. So what you do is you take a piece of cardboard, roll it up into a tube, wrap another piece around it, then attach it to the top. So I'm going to attach it, and then we're going to talk about how to attach it to the armor. Let's go. Okay, guys, so I added another antenna, and I made this side different from this side just because I think it'll look good at the end when everything's painted, because the paint's really going to be where all the detail comes in. So I basically did the same thing but on this side, made it thinner, and then I made a little tube that I cut an angle in so it fits on the side. Now I'm going to cover the top and then show you how to attach it to the back. Okay, guys, so what I did to attach the backpack to the actual chest plate, I just glued it in and reinforced it with a little bit of duct tape. So this is the end of the video. So before I end the video, what I'm going to say is thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe so you won't miss the finished product. But until then, see you later.